This is my campaign manager project located on Google Classroom. So for this project, it's designed for an AP class, AP Government. My AP Government is half sophomore, half freshman classes. So it's designed for 9th, 10th graders who are in advanced placement classes. The project would be done at the end of the year after the AP test, but it really could be modified to be due for on-level or honors classes too. Just depending on the skill level, you'd have to modify certain parts. So once students log on here, the first thing they would see is the overview of the project. That's the first page of my long PDF. And basically this gives them an introduction to the project. So it gives them a brief introduction, a brief scenario, breaks it down of what they're going to be doing in very basic terms, taking a political aptitude test, conducting research, and then creating a website specifically on Weebly to display the research. I want to make a point to say that they're going to be great on their research, website, and teamwork. The teamwork aspect is a big part of it, basically because I know students who a lot of times won't do their work unless they are specifically great on it. So I want to make sure that one partner doesn't kind of do the whole thing while the other partner slacks off. So the other part of this, I have a actual breakdown of what their points will be. Because this is a social studies class, the research is a huge aspect of it. So I put 65 points for the research, and as we get to the research rubric, you'll see exactly how that's broken down. The website is going to be worth 40 points. Again, there's a rubric for it. The teamwork is going to be 15 points, and that's going to be based off their calendar. And then for a total of 120 points, which is a very, very large amount, especially for our classes. So at the bottom, I have helpful website links and helpful research links. These are also on Google Classroom. So below that, I have the website rubric. The reason I put these two together because the students should be modifying these documents just for them to see. So for this website rubric, I broke it down into 4 categories, starting with layout, second is graphics and pictures, third is going to be spelling and grammar and fonts, and fourth is navigation. So the reason I picked to make a rubric that kind of is in this design was so that I can highlight exactly the points the students got. So say they get a 6, I can highlight this. Then over here, I can put this actual score for each student, and then give a brief explanation of why. So it lets me go into a little bit of detail and say why you lost points, why you did what you did well. So next, I have the project calendar and research notes pages. These are going to be stuff that the students need to turn in by the end of the project. And you see the tip is to share both documents with your partner. That's going to actually be written on all of the documents. So first we have the calendar. I thought a calendar would be a good way to try to make sure students are staying on task, and for kind of me as a facilitator to see where everyone is at the end of each day. And if we need to add a day, we can add a day. If we finish early, we would finish early. So one thing I wanted to add to this was share this document with your partner. Because it's done via Google Docs, or because it's done via Google Classroom, it's going to be a little bit tougher. Students would have to kind of make 2 copies of everything. But really, it shouldn't take too long. They can just copy and paste what each other does on their own specific calendars, because each student will have to turn in their own calendar. So I broke it down day by day. I didn't go into much detail here, mostly because this is an AP class. So just giving them just a little bit of what they need is more than enough. Really, other teachers I know would not have given this much. They would say, you have 6 days, get it done. But I thought, especially for my freshmen, they kind of do need this. And I know for myself, kind of going through a checklist of saying, all right, I should have done this, this, and this. Not only did this, I have to do some at home tonight. So kind of make sure that everyone will finish by the end of the 6th day. Next, we have the research notes page. And this is also kind of like a mini rubric. It's a lot less informal than the other rubric, but it's arguably more important. So with this, again, they're going to share this document with their partner. Each partner should have the same amount on each page. So one thing I say, all sources need to be stored in MLA format. If you're not cite your sources, you will automatically receive 50%. This is because students, I'm trying to drill it into their heads, and I've been doing this all year, is to get them to cite their sources. Because when they don't cite their sources, they can be accused of plagiarism, and we don't want that. So it's better if we start it now to kind of get in their heads that they need to cite everything they do. Also, we see each subsection of the research should be its own tab on the website. We'll get to that a little bit later on when we actually look at the website requirements, but each tab is going to be its own piece of information. So we start with background information. It's going to be worth 10 points. Political party worth 5 points. Viewpoints on the issue, that's the biggest thing, especially when we're looking at this project, and kind of the goals of the project is to make sure students understand the issues and understand the aspects the issues have on campaigns. So that's worth 24 points. There are endorsements, another big part, because we spend a lot of time with PACs and super PACs. So for that, we want to make sure that they know who each candidate is supported by. So that's going to be another 10 points. Quotes, trying to get in kind of the personality of the politician and kind of see why they want to be president, what's the good things about them. Are there any important speeches they give, any influential speeches? So quotes and links to those quotes is another big part. Last part is their personal viewpoint. Obviously, you want them to reflect a little bit, especially for some students that may not be happy with the candidate they received. But after doing all the research, hopefully that may change a little bit, or it'll kind of cement their way of thinking. So let's write a short paragraph just answering those three questions. Then that will be its own separate section of the website. And last, we have the place for their citations. All right, so the rest of this website is basically, or the rest of this Google Classroom site is going to be helpful websites. The political aptitude quiz, like I said, just a way for them to kind of see what their candidate would be and make sure that, or to see the kind of percent of how they are in comparison to. It actually gives you, so they would give you a list of candidates. Say you scored 50% with Gary Johnson, 75% with Hillary Clinton, and 22% with Donald Trump. So it shows them the closest candidate they would be to. And it's designed to kind of help you choose who to vote for based on the actual issues. So next, I have helpful research websites. These websites are not going to be the gospel for the students, but they are a very, very good place to start. I've looked through these, and these two websites are very, very trustworthy. And they're also a good way for students to kind of get background about both the issues and about what the candidates feel about the issues. So they're a good start. Students can basically use any website they want, but I do want them to at least get started with this. And there would be a warning about Wikipedia, especially for the in-class. We've talked about before in class where I don't particularly like when they use Wikipedia, but if they do decide to use it, they can't just cite Wikipedia. They have to find out where Wikipedia got its information from, so look in the citations for Wikipedia. Next, we have the campaign website examples. And this website goes along with recording number 5, the video I made for our discussion a couple weeks back. Basically, just gives students an example of what these campaign websites look like. It's a very cool website. It has about, I think, anywhere from 25 to 35 to even 40 different campaign websites. And if they do that along with the recording I made, basically they can see what's good, what's bad, what they should do, what they shouldn't do. And I know for myself, seeing the examples really helps. So looking through other websites kind of would help me lay out my design of the website. Last, I have helpful YouTube videos. So number 1 is going to be how to build a Weebly. A lot of students have never built a Weebly before. One good thing about Weebly, it's a pretty easy website to kind of understand and mess around with. But this is a short 14 minute video. Just kind of helps students get comfortable with it. Show them maybe a little small things they can do to kind of tweak their website a little bit. But it's really up to the students if they want to watch it. I put it there for their own guidance, but if they don't want to use it, their grade won't be affected by it. All right, so that is my Google Classroom. Like I said, should be a cool project. I'm actually going to implement it after the AP exam this year. I'll probably work with it a little bit with my colleagues. We have about 7 people on our team, so they'll all want to put some input in. But overall, I think it'd be a really cool project for them.